Hello everyone. Well, we're back over here at the garden, and last night we had quite a bit of a storm. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder. Not really that much rain. There was some rain. There was some heavy spots, but not really all that much rain. But something decided that it wanted to get in the garden last night. It didn't get under the fence. Well, I can't see anywhere where it did get under the fence. I found somewhere where it got out of the fence line. But I think it may have been a wallaby or a kangaroo that's jumped over the fence, during the storm. Up there where the elevation rises, there is a spot, there's a little hollow that the fence line runs down that the ridge line doesn't. And so that means the height of the fence changes from the upper ground height on the higher side of the fence. And I think what has happened is that something has been scared, a wallaby or a roo. I don't think it was a deer. Definitely wasn't a pig, because if a pig had got in here, it would have wrecked the fence. But I think it's a wallaby that's jumped over and then realised it's inside a compound and can't get out, and it's gone crazy and just skipped around, hopped around, ran around, however you want to describe their locomotion, their form of locomotion. Has just ran itself into the fence, because there's a whole series of sections of the fence that have been pulled off of the bottom wire, and the wire's been pushed out from the inside of the fence line, and there's all these indentations and stretch marks in the wire that weren't there yesterday, and could have only have happened if something got into the actual enclosure. So I've got to have a better look inside the enclosure and figure out whether or not there is footprints anywhere that I can identify, and then, we can confirm exactly what it was. So I'll try my best to give you a look at one of the impact points. You can see there where the mesh, just like something pushed it out from the inside. And the more I see the size of it, I think it's going to have been a wallaby. And I have all these pots along the fence line to hold the electric fence wire off of the mesh so it doesn't earth out in the longer sections. And most of those were all out, were just all over the place. And here in this back corner is where whatever it was got out. You can see all that freshly dug dirt. And this mesh was all the way lifted up and folded up like that this morning, and it was facing outways, so something had pushed out, and you can see all the dirt's been dug in. All the dirt's been dug into the fence line. It's not sprayed outwards. And then down here, this section of the fence, it's just no longer even tied on. So it may have been that something came running down the hill even and bowled straight in. Oh, look at that. There is like almost a hole. Something may have come running down the hill in great pace of rates, scared from the lightning and the thunder, and just went straight through the fence and couldn't get out, and just, aimlessly ran into the fence line over and over again until it found the weak spot. And well, it certainly found a weak spot. On a side note, look how green in between the roses come up in the garden. It's awesome. I have started planting some seedlings over here now. They're protected in some little plastic bottles that I've cut up. So I guess we will get to bloody yellow jacket. Look at that. You can bugger right off, mate. I'm going to buy some Dara stuff and put some poison out for them. Bloody yellow jackets. So anyway, we will get to fixing this fence. So this here is what we'll be using. It's a very small gauge. There's tie wire. You just double it over, loop it, and there you have your tie. Go through your mesh and then tie it off. I'll show you the first couple, and then I'll do it all in a time lapse. So that's that doubled over piece of wire. Job done. I'm going to put another one up in the corner there. Now along this section, there are some scratches here. Something has tried to get out. I think they've got to a point where they've come across the electric fence and then stopped trying, because there's some of the leaf litter on the inside has been scratched inward, and this pot was actually sat behind the fence, stopped the wire hitting the mesh, and it was kicked out as well. But something has come along here on the inside and had a good scratch. There's no identifiable footprints. There are a couple of scratches, but yeah, I'm not that good at identifying scratch marks. I can identify, you know, half or complete footprints, but not a nail. So we will see how this fares up against whatever's penetrated the fence last night. There was just a little hump there that was holding the bottom wire up and causing a kink in the mesh. Hopefully that solved that. So these star posts have been put in. Oh, there's a funnel web. Yeah. I didn't put them in far enough. I did have the intention at one point when I first put the fence up to come and tap them in a little bit further and shore up the tension in the bottom line, but I've grown over here for 3 years and nothing's got in here so far, but this year it seems to be they're liking what's on the floor. And also the other day, put a possum ring on this tree. It goes 360 degrees around the tree because there is another tree that touches it And one of the animals I did spy over here while I was stalking in the garden one night was possums coming down this tree, and you can see all the scratch marks on the trunk from their claws as well. So they have been prevented from coming in here now, hopefully in the long term. There are two other smaller trees near the gate that will present a problem when their canopy starts to touch. I'm going to remove them. May even do it today. Oh, one sounds like it's on a tree root. Oh, it went through whatever it was on. Maybe that next one a little bit more and that should be done. I still can't get over how green, look how green it is in between the rows. You know, a couple of years ago, it doesn't look like that. Well, even in the garden bed, you can see where I haven't been working, haven't done any improvements, what the ground looks like. And then out there, you know, there's no bare dirt. There's a little bit on this end where I've raked up some mulch recently that you saw in a previous video, but yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see what it's like by the end of spring. On a side note, this sledgehammer, does anyone know what sort of sledgehammer it is? I picked it up at a garage sale. Well, actually, it wasn't a garage sale. It was a petrol station down in Tasmania on the east coast in a town called Scamander. And there's a little IGA there that always sells random tools and old goods. And yeah, I got this hammer there. It's got a really poxy little handle on it. I almost feel like I'm going to snap the handle every time I use it because the head's quite heavy in comparison to the handle's weight, to the head's weight. But yeah, if anyone can tell me what kind of sledgehammer head this is, please comment below. So I have found a couple of telltale marks on the ground that indicate a wallaby. Now it's not much. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to show up on the camera. Basically all it is just a vague impression in the ground where the dirt must have been soft last night in the rain. And then a couple of other scuffs that run up leading toward the fence, and then in the leaf litter there's the outline again of the outer edge, the right hand leg outer edge foot impressed into the leaf litter. So I'll give you a look at that. Now just here, there's a slight impression, and it's the right length of the pan of a wallaby foot, or the pad of a wallaby foot, sorry. And you can kind of see the curl the shaping, and then the back half of the heel here, or what would be the heel if it were us. And yeah, that's part of a wallaby impression there. 99% confident that's what it is. Anyway, and then here again in the leaf litter, I'd say the wallaby was coming down the hill and then stopped and did a little scuff into here, and then this is the outer right hand edge of the foot, and then over onto this side there's another scuff mark here that hasn't left any kind of impression, but you can see that that's where the left hand foot's at, and this is where the right hand foot's at. And then going down the hill as well, there's a cut like just here, there's another little scuff mark and another little scuff mark there, ditching off down into the dirt. So it just does look like it's, you know, been going up and down the fence and then just thunder and lightning, and then bam, it had run into the fence, and yeah, until it finally found a weak spot and escaped, which is a shame. I don't like to, you know, prefer the fence would stop them from getting in here in the first place, and have one get in here and be distressed all night trying to figure out how to get out, hurt itself. And haven't found any blood, and I haven't found any hair, and I didn't find any blood anywhere, so I don't think they got tore up on any of the wire mesh or any of the tie wire or anything, so that's a good thing. It had bugged me and play on my mind, and I'd be out there trying to find a blood trail to see if there's an injured animal that needed help, or worst case scenario being put down. But thank gosh, I don't think I've got an issue like that. A couple of spots to go and check that the mesh isn't touching the hot wire again on the electric fence. I know one spot needs a pot put there to insulate it from the mesh. That does that spot. Yeah, a bit of wombat scat. Oh look, there's older wombat scat. Say that was up on a stick or something here that's been knocked off. They generally park their little behind up on something and they go to the toilet. There's a bit of scat. I don't know about that one. That could be wallaby. Yeah. I'd say so. Oh look, there's a little bit more. And a little bit more. Yeah, I'd say definitely now seeing all the sign that it was definitely a bloody wallaby that got in here last night and made all that mess. Especially with how high some of the indentations were into the mesh. Like, wallabies are pretty self-determined animals. When they want to get in or out of a fence line, they'll just bash themselves against the fence until it breaks. They, I don't want to call them stupid, but it's kind of stupid behaviour, but they're definitely self-determined to get in and out of fence lines when they want to. You know, especially if they're scared. You know, if you come up on a wallaby on a fence line in a car or on a bike or something, they'll just turn to the left and either run straight in front of you underneath the wheels and destroy the front end of your car, or they'll head straight for the fence and bounce through it. Yeah, mesh fences like this one, they'll tend to do what it's done, get into the corner somewhere or onto the bottom of the wire and just bash into it until they rip the wire apart, or pop the bloody mesh off of the bottom wire. And then once they get a run in there, the wire tends to fold up, quite similar to what was going on in the corner of that fence line. So yeah, I think we've got wallaby. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I hope you all have a lovely day.